What's going on, you guys? Jason Thomas, and we're here with the Good Ground Lounge, where we bring professionals in and talk about their backstory, how they got started. Hopefully, if you're watching this and you want to find out about a profession you may be interested in, pay attention, take notes. You're going to get some good information and some gems. So we have somebody who's not a stranger, one of our partners. Who do we have here today?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylin Bates, and I'm here today talking about my job.
That's wonderful. Look at you all put together.
I try.
You glowing.
Thank you.
Okay. So what is your job? We know you do the Scholars Path where you help kids figure out how to get funded and school paid for. But what is you like Batman? What's
my day job?
Yeah, what's your day job? What do you do?
So my actual day job is I'm a data analyst for a real estate company. So they're actually like a Fortune 500 company.
Data analyst.
Yeah, most people look at me and they're like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is.
It does. So the question I always tell people, I ask them, explain it like you're talking to a kindergartner. Then they use big words. Like kindergartners don't know those words. So if you was explaining what you were doing to a kindergartner, how would you explain it in one sentence?
Sure. So I would say that I create charts and graphs out of numbers to make it easier to read and use for presentations and to help decision makers make decisions. That's
a 5th grade answer. Kindergarten. Go down.
I make pretty pictures out of numbers.
Pretty.
No, it's a lot that I do on a day-to-day. A lot of it just involves Excel. So if you're familiar with making charts and graphs and, the statistics that they show on like news screens, I would be a person who's making a lot of those.
So I'm going to translate it for you.
Mm-hmm.
From what I heard, you help people make better decisions.
Yes.
Would you agree?
More informed decisions, yes.
So she helps people to make better decisions. So we're going to do a case study. So since you're in real estate, if somebody wants to buy a house or sell a house, how do you help them do that?
So my company doesn't really handle that on a small scale, but on a large scale we do. And so something I would be looking at is the crime rates for your neighborhood.
So you a hater. I'm trying to sell my house. Why you got to look that up?
Because I need to tell you how much you're actually going to get for your house.
So crime affects house prices?
Yes. Location.
Really?
Yes.
So if there's a lot of crime, what happens?
The price will go down for the same house that's in a neighborhood where the crime rates are low.
That sounds like gentrification.
Isn't it?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Back the bus up. So if I'm in if a neighborhood has gone downhill.
So let's back up.
Yeah,
you're in a 4-bedroom house, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
The same 4-bedroom house in Beverly is not the same as Lincoln Park. Is not the same as Inglewood. But they're all a 4-bedroom house, same exact dimensions and everything. Things like crime statistics come into play. So I would be the person who you're getting these police reports done. The crime rates have to be, tabulated. So I'm the person telling you, on a given day on a block in Beverly, maybe robberies are up. But in Lincoln Park, maybe they're doing car thefts.
So outside of crime, what other statistics do you look at? What other data points?
Data points for me that my job would entail is finance. So I deal a lot with the accounts payable people. So the people actually writing the checks. They may be looking at statistics on how much our vendors are costing us. So how much do we pay to get a load of laundry done? Is it cheaper to get the load of laundry done with a different company, or should we do it in-house? Maybe it's cheaper if we just hire staff to do it.
So since you do this for a living, does this bleed into your regular life too? Are you always analyzing stuff for decisions?
Yes, and it's kind of weird, but people are like, well, why do you know that? Like, you want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
So during a hurricane or any other natural disaster, what do you think is the number one seller at Walmart?
The number one seller during a disaster, bottled water?
Most people would think that. The answer is strawberry Pop-Tarts.
No.
Yes.
Why?
Because first thing you should worry about, Maslow's law, is food, right? Uh-huh. Well, now if the power goes out, you can't heat anything up. If the can openers don't work, what else can I eat? And what's the most common flavor of Pop-Tarts?
So they picking Pop-Tarts.
But people with my job degree come up with answers like that. And that's how when you get to Walmart, you'll notice that there's different stockpiles of things. So everyday things are touched by my job title.
That's It's very fascinating. So when you were in high school, did you say, I'm going to be a data analyst?
I didn't even know the job existed. It's actually not common to meet black data analysts.
How did you get into it then? Who introduced you?
So, long-winded story. I went to high school. I knew I wanted to major in computer engineering. So as I thought I was going to major in computer engineering, I'm bad at math and didn't realize how much math engineering is. What is discrete math? Like, why is the math a secret?
That's math on the low.
Why is math a secret, though? Like, that's not for me.
It's side chick math.
So what I did was I ended up majoring in management information systems, becoming a project manager. So then I realized I don't like babying people. Project management, a lot of my job is worrying about, did you do your job? And honestly, being young and black and a woman, I was getting disregarded. And so I really didn't like that. And I ended up doing a year with AmeriCorps after I got out of college. So I didn't know what AmeriCorps was either. Did a year of volunteering, got some student loans paid off. So pro tip,
Hold on, back up. You can't jump over that. So AmeriCorps, for those who don't know, if you volunteer there, they pay off loans.
Yeah, they give you, I got $10,000 of loan forgiveness.
And you work for free?
No, they paid me to work.
They pay you and they pay off loans. Why are more people not doing that?
A lot of people don't know about AmeriCorps. I was actually, the program I was in under AmeriCorps is called Public Allies Chicago. And what I liked about it is it was actually the highest paid program, and Michelle Obama founded it.
See, the more you know. Ma, are you listening? Yes. We is dropping gems up in here. Wow, okay. So you went to AmeriCorps and you got some loans taken care of.
And I was working for this group called the Economic Awareness Council. I had worked with them before under One Summer Chicago, but I had actually became a teacher. And so now I was teaching in classrooms about financial literacy. And as I was doing that, one of the other, partners, community partners, they had told me about, oh, well, since you study project management, you might like being a data analyst. I said, what's that? And I was talking to the guy. He worked for a train company. And he was like, we're always analyzing our loads and logistics. And a lot of what a project manager does can fall into a data analyst. And because you have the programming skills, I know several programming languages, they were like, oh, well, it's only like they offered as a master's program. Check it out. So then I ended up going with another community partner that the organization partnered with, DePaul. And DePaul gave me a scholarship for the master's in business analytics.
So, man, congratulations. Black excellence. So what do you say, 7 you just jumped over the 7 programming languages. When did you learn these? In undergrad?
So, yes. I knew nothing about computer programming. I knew I wanted to go into computers. I didn't know anything about programming languages. My mom knew some programming languages, but they were like COBOL, Oracle, like back in the day languages. And
what's the new ones?
I know R, Java, Python. Those are my main ones that I know.
R, like the letter R?
The letter R, Python,
Python,
and Java.
So you can code and that stuff.
Yes.
Wow. Which one do you spend the most time in?
R.
R.
Mm-hmm.
What about
R
S?
and Python.
What about S?
There's no S. SQL. I use
so
SQL a lot.
Front, like, you do R, I do S. They lying.
Yeah. But then there's no SQL and then there's SQL. So you can do that actually does exist.
Man, you need a show just about that. People will watch that. That's interesting. Is it hard to learn a programming language?
Yes and no. Being honest, you need that 1,000 hours of practice. I don't know if someone's ever told you that quote before. You have
1,000 hours.
To become good at anything, you need about 1,000 hours of practice at it.
So people are probably masters of sleep and procrastination.
They must be masters
because they spend thousands of hours lying. You're a master liar.
I guess so.
Man,
but
so was it freshman year one language, sophomore year one?
So
language?
honestly, I got into school. I'm sure you're gonna ask me about my time in undergrad. It was a time. When I first got there, I wasn't necessarily as serious about the computer programming. So I actually took an Excel class and a Java class at the same time. So learning Microsoft Excel, they have a whole class at the university for it because there are people they are wizards. They make things magical, move on the screen. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
In Excel. It's another program they got like Excel. What is it?
Sheets, Power BI. I also know that. Tableau.
What's the one with macros?
That's Excel.
Oh, Excel
And
has macros
Access.
too. That's how I was thinking of Access.
Yeah.
People still use that?
Yeah. Access is just an expanded version of Excel. If you know Excel, you can do Access.
So are you like a professor?
No.
Like you know this stuff. You could tell you know it and you're happy to share it. What would you like? Do all data analysts act like you?
No. One of my passions, like I like to tell at job interviews, when people say, well, what do you like to do? My thing is I like to explain technical things to non-technical users. So I want to make it make sense.
So follow us on what channel? Because you got it. Like, Mari, you agree?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that, Mari?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm actually being very honest.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so what we were talking about the languages, and then you learned the languages, you do them for your position, and they introduce you to it, talking about they analyze their loads, and they will always they're with the data analysts. Is the goal to save money? Is that why they
The
analyze
goal is
them?
whatever the question is. So that's kind of what I ended up falling in love with the rollover.
Say that again. The goal.
The goal
what?
is to answer the question.
The goal. You said the goal is whatever the question is. That's powerful. So you got
Because
to
a
ask
lot
the
of
right
time-
questions to get to the right goal.
Exactly. A lot of times what I find is your original question was not what you actually end up with. A lot of people, example, social media. You know, we're on a podcast right now. People are like, oh, well, how many people, what should I do to get better? Well, that's not really your question. Your question is how many people view your podcast. Your question is how many people show up.
I would hate arguing with you. I wouldn't. Like, it'd be like, whatever. I'm like, no. Like, I would not. Do you argue? Do you debate a lot?
Yes.
Do you
I
like
actually
it?
wanted to go be a lawyer at first.
Do you debate your friends?
Not really. They kind of just have stopped. My partner, I debate him all the time. My parents and my siblings.
Do he debate back?
Yes.
What?
He's in law enforcement. So
Hey, brother, I'm praying for you. This right here, this is solid, like, debate, better questions. The question is not where I was. Question is what do you
I don't know.
want?
He gets me, so I don't know.
He gets you?
He get me.
I'll tape that. I want to see that because y'all go in. All right, so when the guy told you about their loads, what was the next step?
So he was explaining to me like I could really actually become a data analyst with my undergraduate degree.
Which was what?
Management information systems.
Yeah, okay.
And I had a minor in social media marketing.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I don't know. People already barely trust me. I'm young and I'm black and a woman. In my head, like, I don't know. And I had always really wanted a master's. My grandmother that passed away, she had gotten a master's, and like that was one of the things I had a goal for. But I never knew what I wanted to get a master's in. I was actually going to get a master's in nonprofit leadership because I originally wanted to open a nonprofit.
You still can.
Yeah, but I found out I didn't need a degree in it.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
was where, and that's something I explain to my clients a lot, is like when it comes to degrees, it's the value. You could get a degree in basket weaving, but if you're going to pay out of pocket for it, now you're in debt for something you can't really utilize.
Yeah, it has to make sense. So the first company that hired you as a data analyst, how many data
So I've had
analysts?
3 data analyst jobs.
Same company, different
No,
companies?
different companies. So I originally started out at a marketing company. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about them.
That's fine. Next step was where?
Then I moved to, they kind of do marketing. Wasn't really sure what they did, to be honest.
It's because you wasn't asking better questions.
Apparently, I was in a project management office. So,
Okay.
like, for me and my position, I end up in weird departments because my job can really be for any department. And then this last company, I now work with accounts payable.
Accounts payable. So walk us through a day. You walk in.
So, I gotta get up so early. I hate
Crack of
mornings. For me,
Yeah.
I'm a night owl. So, and you'll find that a lot of programmers are. We like to sit in the dark. Yeah, I'm kind of a vampire. So I get up. I get to work approximately about 8:30. My first thing is I'm going to check my emails. I probably have several meetings with different departments because of my link to the accounts payables department. I do a lot of talking about finance. I just told y'all I don't even like numbers. I'm trying to figure out how I got there. But anyway,
So they talking to you about it. They ask you questions and they expect answers.
they may not expect answers, but they may expect, well, what are your findings? So something that I get is, okay, year to date last year, we may have made, let's just say 100 million. Year to date this year, we're on track to make 50 million. Why? What was the big discrepancy? So I'll get tasked with, okay, let me pull all the data from last year and data from this year, look at weather patterns, because something that we do is work a lot with campgrounds. So our money is influenced by the weather. So that may also affect the entertainment that you booked. Now didn't make any money because the weather was bad.
So you like human Siri.
I
Or
guess
Alexa.
that's a good way to
It's
put
like
it.
you like Alexa. Alexa, tell me why I didn't make money on this. And then
Yeah.
because all those factors, a normal person wouldn't even, you wouldn't
But you
think
have
that.
to think like that. And then something else a lot of people don't know, data analysts are skeptics. We're
They-
very skeptical people. We
Really?
don't, because data, you can make up numbers. You could just slap numbers on the paper and say, this is accurate. Where did you pull this from? So a lot of what I do is not only pulling records in one place, I want to go see if those records are available somewhere else that can basically say, oh, these are accurate.
So you do a lot of research.
Yes.
How much time of your day is researching?
That depends on how many meetings I have in a day, because the other part is not researching, but putting together presentations. I could show you my research, but then you would be like, and I'm bored.
Yeah, but it's not boring to you.
No, because I like to know why. So I've always been a why kind of person. My mother would tell you, even as a kid, why? Why I gotta do that? Why? So that's what kind of led me to my job, is I've always been a why and a skeptic.
So have you ever had a position where you could not find out why?
Yes, and it bothers me.
Really?
That's actually why I don't program as much. So I'm more on the Excel side of using everything. So as a technical user, I am not the person doing the zeros and the ones and making the apps. I'm the person saying, okay, you made this app, but is it useful?
You're on the functional side.
Yes.
Very functional.
Yes.
So so this is very fascinating. I'm learning. What do you do for fun? Don't say research, data, computer. No. Outside of that, we know that's fun. What's
Vacations. I love vacations. I love getting massages.
Do you do
Because I make money, so I'm going to blow it on vacation.
So do you do the probability of the flight and the time of year?
Yeah, I'm the
and
person who's like, we're getting travel insurance because 75% of the time this year. Yeah, I'm that person.
Oh man.
I'm the person who goes on TikTok and like watches other people's reviews. And then when I get there, I'm going to make my own review because I want to see where you're accurate.
So I think with all your data, you could probably finesse that to get better prices for things.
Yeah, but then if I don't like something, it say on my face, and like people won't pay you for stuff like that.
No, I'm saying like if you're looking at how much a flight should be or a room should be, if you say like historically this time of the year is this price, could you do that?
Yes and no. So fun fact about flights. Did you know every time you log in, you're going to get a different number? Unless you use like a private browser.
A private browser? Like
Using-
DuckDuckGo?
No, you could just put your own browser in private mode. The thing is, what's happening is these sites are seeing that you're looking for a particular flight on a particular date at a particular time for a particular number of people. So the next time you click on the website, they're going to say, oh, you still looking? $20 more.
Really?
It's all algorithms, just like there's a cheap day to buy flights.
What's that day? Tuesdays. That's tomorrow.
Yeah. Just like Travel Tuesday, that's a thing. Like it's coming up in I think like 2 or 3 weeks, Travel Tuesday. That's a specific day they pick every year to make flights for the next 6 months very cheap.
What month is that?
I don't know. I just know it's a thing.
So can we Google that?
Yeah. Travel Tuesday, you can Google it. It's happening in
Mari,
like a couple
Google
weeks.
Travel Tuesday while you sitting there and tell us, the people here, man, you a walking cheat code. So data analysts, they use them for everything, I'm guessing.
Yes. Like something as small as your water usage at home. There's a data analyst who works at the water department who's saying, hey, I don't know what they got going on at this house. It must be 60 million people living here.
It's Tuesday, December 3rd.
Tuesday, December 3rd.
December 3rd. On that day, you should get yourself for the next 6 months.
If you know you're going to fly in the next 6 months, yes, December 3rd, Travel Tuesday.
Wow. Never heard. Had you heard that, Mari?
No, but I'm trying to book a flight
Just make sure you book that travel insurance on that flight.
So let me ask you this: does that do you do statistics and probability too?
Yes, I actually like probability over statistics because I just hate math.
So let me ask you this: so do you gamble?
Sometimes. Here's my problem.
You
I'm
probably
actually
really
cheap.
good. You probably good at gambling,
No, because I'm conservative. I don't like to lose money.
but probability.
Because that's actually how I got into my career. When I found out how much data analysts make, I was like, oh, well, look, what I need to do to sign up for
So
this
tell the
job?
folks at home what do data analysts make?
When you are fresh out of a master's program, so the master's is only 1 year, $80,000
Starting off,
starting off.
and how does a person know if a data analyst is good or not? How would they know?
They're going to ask you technical questions that if you can't answer it, there's something basic like
Like
they
ask me a basic question.
do you know how to use VLOOKUPs?
Yes.
Okay. Can you convert an Excel chart to Power BI?
Yes.
Give
Are you
me.
going to ask me how?
I was gonna say, give me an example,
Well, you open your browser.
and see, you're gonna be wrong right there.
I failed.
Fail.
What's the first step?
A lot of people don't realize Excel is not necessarily always online, so you can have on your desktop. Excel has a limitation on the amount of rows you can handle. So something they may ask you is, "Oh, we give you 2 million rows of data. What do you use?" Most people gonna sit there and say, "I don't know."
What's the right answer?
It depends. Is the right answer.
It depends on what.
What you're using the charts and the graphs for. Maybe you're doing a collaboration with another department and they only use Excel. You may say, well, maybe I want to do something with another department and they use Power BI. Well, Power BI supports Excel. So therefore, you just need to upload.
You're hired.
You just need to upload your charts and
Dang.
graphs.
So can a data analyst work as an independent contractor for people?
Oh, yeah.
People do that?
Yeah. I've had contracts for it. The government does it a lot.
Really?
Actually, where I started like training a lot of my like data analyst skills is on free government databases. The government has a lot of data they collect, and you'd be surprised. Fun fact, funniest thing I ever saw. You remember when they were doing the COVID PPP loans? You could actually see all the LLCs that got money for the
free.
loans.
It was for free.
Yeah, the government gave it so that people like me who are nosy are going to run statistics on your information. There was literally a guy I saw. I'm going to assume it's a male. His LLC name was Give Me a Hellcat LLC. Give Me a Hellcat LLC.
Foolishness.
I'm going to guess he got hit with fraud
Foolishness.
because there are people like me who are like, that's not normal.
You're
to
like
you.
investigators.
Yeah.
Are you on the dark web too?
No, not as much anymore.